story before, the story between the story of the rich man and Lazarus. Have you heard it before? You have heard it before in class, okay? Who can tell me the story? Anybody can tell me the story? I just read it, but who can tell me the story of the rich man and Lazarus? Anybody? Try, you can give it a try. Come on. You don't remember? Okay. Briefly, there was this rich man always sitting in pub. I'm very poor too, but I'm not rich anyway. So, always has everything to himself. And there was this poor guy, like a beggar, always sitting very close to the house and had to feed on what the scraps from the rich man's table. But they were portrayed like he was rich, he had all the best, but okay. And this man, Lazarus, was just poor and just feeding on whatever scraps. Not even the meal, real meal, was the scraps. Like things that you throw away. Like somebody going into your garbage, you know what I'm saying? To pick out things to eat. That's what we're talking about. But the scripture says this morning, when Abraham died, when this rich man, Lazarus died, and he went to heaven. And this poor guy too also, this rich man also died, and he went to hell. And when he went to hell, he saw Abraham and saw this poor guy next to Abraham. I was like, wow. Abraham, can you ask this guy? I know him, he used to sit by my house, he used to check the garbage. Can you ask him to just use his fingertip to drop a little drop of water in my tongue because I'm burning? Burning hell. And Abraham said, that can't happen. We can't get to you, you can't get to us. When you were in the world, you were enjoying yourself, but this poor guy was suffering. Now he is enjoying, and you are suffering. Okay, Abraham, can you make him to go back to the world and tell my brothers to change their lives? And Abraham said, no, that won't happen also. They always have people who preach to them. No, if they see somebody who rose from the dead, maybe they will listen. And then Abraham said, if they will not listen to those that they see right now, they will not even listen. Even somebody that. Let me explain that. I'm just trying to see a way of getting it through to you kids, okay? The fact that you are rich does not mean you are going to hell. And the fact that you are poor does not mean you are going to heaven. You can be poor and you go to hell. You can be rich and you get to heaven. The heaven and hell is not about rich and poor. No. It's just about what we do. What is the offense? What makes this rich man, to go to hell? Yes? Because he gave the poor man scraps, okay? Because he didn't help out the poor man, yes. He wasn't selfish.
He wouldn't offer any clothes.
He would not offer any clothes to this guy that sits by outside in the sun, in the rain. Yeah?
He needed water. He needed water.
Because he did not offer water. Exactly this guy. We call that sin of unnoticed. Sin of unnoticed. It happens to us too. Maybe there's this guy that walks your street every day. You see him, and you just look at him, your past. You have counted him as part of, let me make it very clearly. If there's a guy that comes by your house every day, even just checking the garbage and going, checking the garbage, There are some days if you don't see him, you miss him. Say, where's this guy? I've not seen him 2 days. But you've been seeing him, but you did not pay attention to exactly what is happening to him. You just count him like, that is life. This is my life, that is his life. Sin of notice, not noticing exactly what a person is going through and able to say, can I help? Where exactly you can actually help. You can offer some hands. I don't really see any big problem, too big a problem in this rich man, because he could have as well driven Lazarus away. You could have said, I don't want to see you in my house anymore. Don't come around here. But that even allowed it, he counted Lazarus as part of the geographical situations of his house. That's what they call unnoticed. You just overlook. Sin of overlooking situations. That's what he did. And for Lazarus, what made Lazarus to go to heaven? Who can tell me? That's going to be hard. You want to try?
Because he was just a poor man looking for help, and he didn't get any, so he got help from the Lord.
Okay, he got help from the Lord. Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth. And that's why the first reading was talking about, do not trust in people. It's not in people, we trust in the Lord, right? Because when people don't help us, God can help us, right? Good. Because he needed help and the Lord gave, okay?
Instead of like saying, I want more food, he just accepted it.
Okay, now but let me tell you one part. You may not really get this part because it's not in our environment. The scripture says, even the dogs come to lick his sores. Do you know what they call sores?
Wounds.
When you have a big wound on your legs and it's untreated, you don't go to the hospital and it's rotting. Oh yeah, it grows and smelling. Yeah, that is what it's saw. If it's not treated, even when it's treated, it's still called salt. But in this case, for this woman, no hospital is not going to any hospital, just carrying it that way. But you know, dogs like things like that. Yeah. You know, we treat our dogs better here, so that I'm just talking from another environment. Dogs eat dirty things sometimes. Don't let me go deep into that. Okay, that will gross too. But when dogs equally licks sores, it heals. Because the saliva from the dog has some medicine also. Do you get what I'm saying? So, even though he was poor, you know, the way I'm interpreting is that even though he was very poor, he was still very generous to the dog. You know what I'm saying? He was not chasing away the dogs like others would do. Get away, get away! Even in his poverty, he was still generous. So it was not talking about because I don't have, therefore I cannot do. So what is that telling us is that in our situation, whether you are rich or poor, in what you have, always be ready to share. What got him to heaven is because he was a poor guy, but he was not a violent guy. He was not causing trouble in town. He was not making people uncomfortable. He was just a simple person, gentle person. It was his good acts that got him to heaven, not because he was poor. Do you get what I'm saying? And we should get that clear. But because we know sometimes when people have, even for those who claim to have, they seem not to be satisfied. They still want more. But there are people who are really in need. Are we ready to help them? Are you ready to help your classmates? Are you ready? Maybe you come with your lunch box and you find somebody with no lunch box. Can you say, can you share with me? Can you say that? Share with your brother, sister? Do you want to share? Want to share? Can you share your meal with somebody else today? Will you do that? I can't hear you.
Yes, Father.
Okay, sharing. You have 2 pencils or 2 pens. Somebody forgot his or her pencil at home. Can you lend out 1? Yeah. Being generous. Noticing. Sometimes when somebody asks you, can I? You can notice that, oh, you don't have a pen? Can I give you one? Not the person asking you, you are the one offering. Otherwise, we may slip into that sin of unnoticed. Not paying attention. We see it, but we don't pay attention to it. May God help us in our journey. And during this Lenten season, it is very important. And in this year of mercy, it is very important. Let us be more aware of our environment and respond to it. That is when our offerings and prayers can be more acceptable to God the Father. May God help us with the Father and with the Son